All right, we'll start with sex and gender. Just so you understand the difference between sex and gender, because they are not the same thing, although often we will use them interchangeably. Sex is what biologically a person is, male or female, whereas gender is how they perceive that, how they identify. This might mean that a male could identify as a female, or a female might identify as a male, but it could also mean that a person will identify or perceive femaleness as something is different from what maybe the mainstream society is. For example, I am what society would have called a tomboy. Always have been. And so therefore I perceive femaleness differently than the pinks and princesses and sparkles that are often advertised as what a femaleness is. I don't like the color pink. I'm not into that kind of thing. And so to me, femaleness is not what it might be to somebody else. And frankly, your gender, everyone is going to identify a little bit differently and perceive their gender a little differently. There's kind of no right way to that. But that is a difference between sex and gender. But when it comes to sex and gender, people are going to perceive what they expect you to, whether or not they expect you to be competent or what your potential level is based on your sex. It's an unfortunate issue that we're still working through as a society. And women are often the ones that are considered to be less competent or to have less potential because of their sex and nothing else taken into consideration. Stereotypes will kind of cloud how someone will see you. They'll have a stereotype and it'll be hard to work past that. For example, if a man is in charge and is very strong as a leader, people see him as strong and as a good leader and commanding, whereas a woman who exhibits those same things might be seen then as cold, aloof, or aggressive. They won't see those positive male traits that they'd see in a man. They won't see them as positive when a woman exhibits them. And you see these in other kinds of examples, but let's look at a couple clips that show examples of that.
Really? End of the hall.
That's the Nazi?
I thought the Nazi would be a guy.
I thought the Nazi would be a Nazi.
Maybe it's professional jealousy. Maybe she's brilliant and they call her a Nazi because they're jealous. Maybe she's nice.
Let me guess, you're the model.
Hi, I'm Isabel Stevens, but everyone calls me Izzy.
I have 5 rules. Memorize them. Rule number 1, don't bother sucking up. I already hate you. That's not going to change. Trauma protocol, phone list, pagers. Nurses will page you. You'll answer every page at a run. A run. That's rule number 2. Your first shift starts now and lasts 48 hours. I'm a surgical resident assisting you today. I know you're subbing in from Mercy West, so if there's anything I can do to help.
I'm here for one day. I don't need more ideas. All I need is to tell you what to do, and you do it. And I don't like mistakes.
I don't make mistakes.
Whatever. There's only one resident that I don't want in my OR. A guy they call the Nazi. Do you know him?
The Nazi?
Yeah, word of mouth, stellar rep, balls the size of Texas.
That big. Sounds like an impressively talented man, this Nazi.
Do you know him or not?
Never heard of him, but I'll be sure to keep an eye out.
For now, you can work on that. The guy just came into curtain 3. Page me if you get confused.
I'll be sure to do that. Like I said, the stupidity of the human race.
That's Bailey, is the character's name. She's a strong woman, but people assume because she is the strong, very demanding employer that she is a male. They just assume then that she's a male. And that's kind of what we're talking about here, is that there's a lot of assumptions people make when it comes to sex and gender. And so as a leader, it is our job to make sure that we don't have those assumptions, and that we don't, that we make sure that we see everyone for their potential, not for their sex, so that we let their potential shine through. This is, applying to giving promotions. This is also applying to the way, whether or not we hire someone and how we treat people, the kind of jobs or positions that we put them in, or the work that we give them within their position can totally be affected by that. So you have to make sure that you're, again, not making your decisions based on your unconscious bias. Age is another one that we have very unconscious stereotypes that go with. For example, if I say that Jane likes to go to the skate park on Thursdays, you assume naturally that she's a teenager. Or if I say that Bonnie likes to play bridge with her friends on Saturdays, you assume that she's a senior citizen. We assume that based on someone's recreation habits that they are a certain age, and we also assume that someone's age is going to affect their recreation habits. There's a lot of stereotypes there. Or for example, if we see teenagers loitering, there's a place in Ithaca where I live where teenagers sometimes will just be hanging out, and there's cops on them all the time telling them to get out of there. Because teenagers, if they're loitering, are naturally, people just assume that they're going to do something wrong. Whereas if I went there and sat, for example, and I'm in my 30s, I probably wouldn't be bothered at all, because people would be assuming that I would need to sit there for some reason, because I'm not the menace to society that teenagers are. Same with older people. People in society often treat older people like they are dumb, like their mind isn't all there, forgetting completely that the older people made this, that our senior citizens made the society that we have. They made what we have. They were where we are, and they made the society that we have. But then we disrespect them because they are older and more seasoned. And so you have to, as a leader, make sure that, first of all, you treat people with respect and give them the benefit of the doubt. But secondly, to keep in mind that interests and motivations change over life. Just because you think someone wouldn't like something doesn't mean that they really wouldn't. Make things available to people, and depending, not based on their age, but based on their interests, because they do change over life. Ethnicity and race is probably one of the most charged discussions that we have. Ethnicity is referring to the way someone identifies ethnically, the commonalities they share, their history, their traditions. And this doesn't necessarily mean that someone racially typically would be with an ethnicity. It just means what they identify with, what their traditions will fall into. But then the race is the actual genetic makeup. What's important to understand is that people are very, very related. That we are to an exceptional percentage. I think it's like 9.9999 repeating. We are all the same. We're all biologically mixed, but we're related. We're all family on one level. And so we need to focus on those similarities. And let's watch a video here for a good example.
We're back at Denny Moe's barbershop in Harlem, where a white barber was discriminated against simply because of the color of his skin.
The white dude? What you know about this, man?
But what if now things get more personal?
Excuse me.
Rachel is an actor, playing a hairdresser who has her eye on a new customer.
You been working here for a while?
Yeah, for too long. When you gonna come save me?
All right.
But Gabriel has a girlfriend, and when she shows up,
Hey, baby.
Hey.
Do you want me to wait for you over here?
it's a rude awakening for Rachel.
Wait, what? You with a white girl?
Yeah, that's my girlfriend.
You couldn't find a strong black woman for you? Excuse me?
If you saw this woman berating an interracial couple, what would you do?
Hey, baby.
Hey.
Hey. Baby? You dating a white girl?
I'm dating a girl who is white, if that's what you mean.
Okay. I don't get it, but that's crazy. The only thing crazy is you being in here.
Rachel isn't pulling any punches with Christian, and at first, this woman takes the soft, comforting approach.
All right, we're going to finish this video on the next section of this course.